So several weeks ago, I had to take our dog Leighton to the vet for his annual checkup. Has anyone had a checkup before you had to go back to school? Yeah. You go in, they ask you a bunch of questions, they measure how tall you are, right, how much you weigh, okay? So we went in and the vet put him on the scale, and the vet was unhappy because he had gained 5 pounds on his 80-pound frame. And the first thing that came to my mind is that our dog Leighton thinks that his chore for the family is to clean the floor. What do you think he's cleaning off the floor? Food, yes. So he feels that it's his job to go around after every meal and to make sure that there's no food. And then it's my job to vacuum up all the dog hair that golden retrievers are known for. It kind of balances out, I guess, right? So immediately my thought goes to, he's been eating too many crumbs, that's why he's put on a few pounds, and he needs to change that. But the more I thought about it, I said, you know what? He hasn't been exercising as much as he used to. I think that that is really a problem. He needs to go out and he needs to move a lot more. You guys always feel better when you go outside and move, run, jump?
I have 2 dogs, a puppy and a dog.
Oh my goodness. You've got a lot of vacuum cleaners in your house, don't you?
Yes, and Tito cleans up the crumbs and Tom cleans up the dog.
Oh gosh, that's excellent. Excellent. So we have our dogs that do this, but we think about the importance of moving. Now today we celebrate the 130th year of this church. So today is All Saints' 130th birthday. Do y'all know anyone who's 130 years old? Yeah, I don't either. So as we celebrate, we just think quickly about what this church has gone through. This church was started from another church in 1883. That was a long time ago. And they used to be downtown. And they were downtown on Madison and Gray Street. And then they eventually moved to Franklin Street. And what happened is the church continued to grow. And then a little over 60 years ago, they moved out here to the West End to where we are today. And even though the church is 130 years old, which is a pretty big number, it has been in this location for the longest tenure of its time. It's been here the longest. And we think about all of that movement. That when God says it's time for you to move a little bit more, they say we're ready. We had this story today where Jesus moves in his opinion about something. He has this lady that comes to him and her daughter is sick and she wants her daughter to feel better. Have you ever been sick? Yeah? Your parents want you to feel better? And they'll do everything in their power to help you feel better. So she goes to Jesus, who is healing people, and says, will you help my daughter to feel better? And Jesus says, well, you're not from Israel, and I've got to first take care of the people of Israel. And he's like, it would be like me just simply throwing all the food to the dogs. And you know what she says in response to Jesus? Even the dog under the table eats the crumbs. And you know what Jesus does? This is the only time it happens in the gospel. This is the only time it happens in his recorded memory. Jesus says, huh.
My doggy went down a water slide when my sister had her 6th birthday.
So a dog going down a water slide is just as amazing as Jesus changing his mind?
Yes, and my dad fell down and I fell down.
Your dad fell down, you fell down? How?
And then he was like, I don't want to run. Like that.
Awesome. So Jesus changes his mind and he says, I am going to help you. Whether you've fallen down a water slide or you want your daughter to feel better, I am going to change my mind. And it tells us this wonderful thing that whoever is in charge of making decisions, who are some people that make decisions in your life? Who? Yes. Who makes decisions in your life? You? Who else? Who's in charge of your classroom? Your mom? Who's in charge of your classroom? Your teacher? Who's in charge of the school? Principal. Okay. So we have people in our lives, if it's not just ourselves, that make decisions for others, right? And this wonderful lesson teaches us this. Jesus states his case, it's not time for me to take care of people outside of Israel. And the woman says, but even the dogs, even simple folks like us, deserve the crumbs of the love and of your healing power. And Jesus changes his mind, and it shows that he's willing to let go of his side of the argument. Have any of y'all ever argued with your parents? Yeah. Because sometimes we think that we know the right answer, right? And as we argue, the hardest thing is to say, you know what? You have made a better point than I have, and I'm going to go in your direction. That's what happens today. This lady helps Jesus to change his mind, and he goes in her direction. All right. Yes. We're going to pass it up. If you would like to put on a little birthday hat, just choose one.
I don't know whose birthday it is, but
It's the church's birthday. Just take one. There you go. So pass them around that way. There you go. So as these are coming around, you can put them on.
we're going to sing happy birthday.
We are going to sing happy birthday. Here you go. You don't want one? Here we go. We got extra. Here you go. Try this one. Try this one.
Who wants one?
Does everybody have one? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's see what we can do. You put them in the little thing and then you pull it through. So, I can. Who has ever had a birthday cake in front of you? Who's ever had a birthday cake? Now, the candles are lit on the cake, and what are you supposed to do before you blow the candles out? What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to do what? Before you eat the cake, before you blow the cake, because you have to blow the candles out before you eat the cake. Here you go. There you go. It is breaking. Oh. They are easy to break. So, you have, look at this. Look at this. You have the cake in front of you. Here's your cake. You have your candles. And before you close your eyes and blow out your candles, you make a what? You make a wish. Now, I think that it's important.
Why does it have eyeballs?
It's a crazy hat. I think it's important to make a wish.
How is that sanitary?
Because what it does is it says, what do we want to happen in the year ahead? Now, if you had a wish for All Saints in the next 130 years, what would your wish be for the church? Try that one. What would your wish be?
That it has robots to do your work.
That it has robots to do your work. That's an excellent wish. What other wishes might we have? Anyone else have a wish for the church? Yes. To have more people here. Excellent. Excellent. What other wishes would we have for the church? Yes.
How about putting that hat on top of the bell tower?
Putting the hat on top of the bell tower, that would be a great idea. It's way up there.
Or we can put it on top of the roof.
Or on top of the roof.
Okay, that's boring.
So do this with me. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in.
I can't even put my fist in.
And as we think, what is our wish? And then pretend you have candles in front of you and blow the candles out. Now, the thing that is wonderful about God is sometimes we might want something to happen, but that God is going to eventually show us a different way for it to happen. And we say, that is much better. That's even better than my wish.
Underwear elastic.
That is elastic, yes. How can we do this? Look at this funny hat. How can we find God in our wishes and our hopes and in our desires? And the trick is this. Was it the crumbs that was making my dog heavier?
Yeah.
No. It was the fact that he needed to do what?
Exercise.
He needed to move more. Now, who has a favorite exercise that they do? Who has a favorite exercise they do? Yes. Favorite exercise.
Run.
You run, yes. Swim, yes. What else?
When
Swim, yes.
I run off my dog.
You run with your dog? So we have all these ways that we can get out and move, but what does it mean for us to move as a church? Now, we're not going to change our location. We're going to be here. What kind of exercise you do? You run in a wheelbarrow? That's good. How can we move and how can we follow God's direction while staying here? Now, let me ask you this question. I'm not going to look out there for hands up, but tell me this. Does your family always sit in the same pew?
No.
Oh. Does your family try to park in the same parking space at church? Yeah. It's very easy for us to find ourselves doing some of the same things all the time instead of moving a little bit. So I pray that as we go into our next 130th year as a church, God is going to help us to move by staying in this location, but move in new ways of reaching out to our neighbors so all feel welcome. Who can look over here at this beautiful mosaic? You see this mosaic here?
Yeah.
What is that a picture of on the wall?
Oh.
Yes.
That's a picture of Jesus, Mary, and
Joseph. And what is happening in that picture with Jesus?
First Christmas.
It's the first Christmas, which means it's whose birthday? Jesus' birthday. And we celebrate Jesus' birthday as we celebrate Christmas, right? And if you look above it, it says that Jesus came to be a light to the Gentiles, which reminds us that Jesus came to be a light to everyone.
I don't know how to read it.
He came to be a light to everyone so we know that we are loved. So if you can't get your hat on, I bet your parents are eager to help you with those when you get back. But why don't we stand and we will say together the Children's Chapel Creed, okay? We'll invite the congregation to stand and you will find it in your bulletin. Okay, and I'm going to get you to follow after me and we'll do the echo response. Are we ready? I believe in God above.
I believe in God above.
I believe in Jesus' love.
I believe in Jesus' love.
I believe His Spirit too
I believe His Spirit too
comes to teach me what to do.
comes to teach me what to do.
I believe that I should be
I believe that I should be
kind and loving, Lord, like you.
kind and loving, Lord, like you.
Let's give them a hand for their attention. You can go back to your seat. Great job.